yeah. This is my May wrap-up because I don't want to make you wait another month, and I don't want to wait for another month either. My month of May was weird. I didn't read many novels, but I read a lot of graphic novels. The first one I'm going to show you is this one, Entre les eaux, by Papa Mudimbe. It tells the story of this guy, Pierre Landau, who ever since he was young always wanted to be a priest, or to at least to work for the Catholic Church. But in reality, what he always wanted was to be literate. And back in the days, during the colonization, for a black man in Africa to acquire knowledge, he had to go to the Catholic Church. Being a priest or becoming a Catholic meant rejecting all the traditions of the land. Everything that his ancestors used to believe in, or the gods that his father used to serve, he had to forget about that and embrace everything that the white man came with, which they always call civilization. Was it really civilization? I don't know. I'm not here to judge. I'm just telling. So yeah, but growing up, he will eventually succeed and become a priest, but then he realized at a certain moment in his life that it's not enough, and he wants to help his brothers who are fighting for their freedom and independence, and they're fighting against this system, even against the church, against Catholicism. You want to help them to achieve the freedom, acquire the freedom for the people. So he will eventually decide to leave the church and go join the army. In this novel, he's telling us all the process, what he went through, what he witnessed, and what he realized eventually as he was growing up, and as he was opening his own mind to what he lost, what he gave up to become this perfect man, or to become this man that the white man expected him to be. You know, of course, I can tell you much more without spoiling. The thing about this book is that you either love it or hate it. That's it with the book, because it gives many details about the Catholicism, what he went through, where he studied. And if you're just like me, in general, I don't like too much details, too much description, but here they're really needed. They are required for you to understand the meaning of the story. So yes, I took my time reading it. It's only 170 pages in French, but gosh, it took me an entire week and a half to finish this book because I didn't want to rush into it. Just reading 2 chapters in this book was like reading, I don't know, 100 pages per day, because there's a lot of vocabulary. It feels like reading a Wole Soyinka or a Ben Okri book. You see, you have a lot of vocabulary, you have a lot of grammar inside this book. So yeah, I loved it. I'm not sure it is for everybody, once again, but it's interesting. You have to be patient, and you also have to be interested into what he is dealing with for you to hold on till the end. Either way, you're gonna find it maybe a bit too philosophical. Yeah, but me personally, I loved it and I recommend it. I gave it 4 stars on Goodreads. One of the other books I've read this month was this one, Musical Youth by Joanne C. Hillhouse. She is from Antigua and Barbuda, and this is my first time reading a book from that part of the globe. So yeah, Caribbean read, definitely. I bought this book, if you know me, because of the cover. I'm a buyer by the cover. When I saw this cover, it made me think of Video by India Hari. Look at it. I'm not the average girl from your video. That's why I bought the book. I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know what the book was about, etc. When I received it and started reading it, I realized that it was a YA. I'm not good with YA, but this one was really worth the read. The main theme in this book is colorism in Antigua and Barbuda. It tells the story, or a love story between Shaka, the male character, and Zahara. Zahara is an orphan. The first time we meet her, she's telling us that her mother died in a car accident. But she doesn't give us more details. So the more we read, the more we learn how it happens, who she was with when the accident took place, etc., etc. The male character, when we met him, his name, people are calling him Zulu. They call him Zulu because he's dark skin, like very dark. He's dark blue. So people women, girls are kind of rejecting him because he's fine though. He looks good, but is dark skinned. And she, Zahara, is light skinned. So even the girls are a bit jealous, or, you know, the thing that she's all that, but they don't know anything about her. She is very shy and, you know, in a shell, and he is very outspoken, very energetic kind of person, and he has a crew, and we also encounter, we meet each member of the crew, and each one of them tells us their story. I loved it because I wish that when I was younger, somebody would have described colorism to me in these words, in this way. And I didn't even know that colorism was that heavy in the Caribbean, because sometimes, okay, the French Caribbean I know already, so I'm not going to stay there. But sometimes when people talk about the Caribbean, it feels like it looks like paradise from the outside, because people are supposed to mingle together. They always live together. There's no difference, etc. So to see how people don't talk about it, but their body react. You know, in the book you will encounter, for example, the body language of these girls when they see this black boy. He, though is fine, is still dark skinned, and they know that it will eventually be, let's say, not accepted if they were to introduce him to their family member, because dark skin means many things. The darkness of the skin come with many curses or stuff like that. But music is the main theme in this book also, apart from colorism. I said colorism, but music is more present. I discovered some artists because I googled them. I watched the videos, or the music videos on YouTube. It was very interesting. Of course, I already know about Bob Marley, Peter Tosh, Maxi Priest, or Buju Banton, but I didn't know all the other artists from Antigua and Barbuda, like CP, etc., etc. So it was good to listen to a bit of calypso while I was reading this book, because that's what I was doing. Sometimes they would talk about an artist, and I'll be like, this artist, this song, and I will, you know, go on YouTube and search and listen to the song. It was very, very musical, very interesting. So yes, I will recommend this one. Even if you don't like YA, you can give this a try. The second thing is, give it a chance to, you know, like, get into you. Not the first 2 chapters are not that catching. You know that it's a YA when you're reading the first 2 chapters. But the more you read, the more interested you are in knowing who Zahara is, knowing a family member, and discovering a family story. That will be, and how she is somehow linked to Zulu, aka Shaka. And you also know how he get to change his name from Zulu to Shaka. Many things, you know. Yeah, it is worth it. And this is definitely the kind of book that I will be giving to my niece. She is 12 or 14. The one who's 12 maybe is too young, but the one who's 14, I'm going to give this to her for her to read, because it's very, very interesting. I loved it. I read this one, Incognito Renaissance, though I haven't read Incognito, the First Settlement, because on Amazon I think that it's just way too pricey. So I'm waiting for my next trip to the United States, or maybe to London, to find even a used copy in a good condition that I can buy. Instead, I read this one. I only gave it 3 stars because if you have read it, you know, it's supposed to be a mystery. The mystery wasn't really there for me. The secret, or the passing, or whatever, I didn't find it that catchy. It was just like a page turner. I read it in one sitting and was like, that's it? Yeah. But it was interesting. Not intriguing, but interesting. This graphic novel. March 1, 2, and 3. I gave 2 and 3 5 stars. I gave this one 4 stars because the ending was abrupt to me. And I felt like I wanted a bit more. And yes, it is true that it's also the smallest one. What can I say? I was intrigued by this one 2 or 3 years ago when Lady, FreeFormLady, that's the name of her channel, and I'm going to put the link down below to the video that made me want to read these graphic novels. She made a video years ago, and I decided that I was going to buy it, to read them, but I didn't want to buy them in the first place. I expected my brother to buy this graphic novel, which he did. I don't have it here with me. He bought only the first one in French. And I wanted him to keep buying them. And he said, oh no, I read them already. A friend of mine lent them to me and I gave them back. And I was like, what a selfish motherfucker. So I decided to buy them, read them, loved them. Not going to say much about this because I'm going to put the link down below, as I said, to Lady's video. I think that our review is worth watching. Tales of the Talented 10th by, what is his name? Joel Christian Gale. I don't have the number 1. This is the number 2. I didn't know anything. I didn't know a damn thing about Bessie Stringfield. I gave this 5 stars, even if I feel like there are many information missing in the in this graphic novel. I wanted to know more, but everything I didn't get in this graphic novel, I got on Google. I loved it because it's very simple, and as I said, it introduced me to somebody I didn't know anything about, and somebody that I definitely feel like should be talked about more, just like many of the characters like Fannie Lou Armour that I discovered in this March series. If you want to know about her, she was the first African-American woman to travel on a motorcycle during the Jim Crow era. And there's a particular scene that I really loved that made me laugh. I wanted to share it on Instagram, but I've been lazy. I'm telling you, I was so lazy that I didn't even take the time out to do it. She was traveling across the South, and one white woman indicated her the way, showed her the way, told her where she should go. And when she made it there, she realized that it was the, in the deep Jim Crow South, and the Ku Klux Klan were having a meeting there. So her life was really in danger. But I loved how the graphics were done, really. Oh, I really hope you can see that it's not all shiny. Yeah, like this. I really love the graphics. It's quite simplistic, and I think it's also meant for a younger audience, but still, even if you're just as young as I am, you can read it. The other one I read was this one. I really love the graphics also in this. The only thing I missed, I felt like there are many graphics but not enough words. I wish there were more words in this one here. I appreciated the fact that when words appears in this graphic novel, those are the words of Mr. Turner himself, as written in the book, actually, the real book. But yeah, I feel like it's heavy, it's big, but it lacks words to my liking. I love words sometimes. When there are too much of them, I complain, but when there's not enough of them, I also feel like, yeah, I wanted more. Yeah, I'm a woman. Maybe I'm just like my mother. I'm never satisfied. Yeah, that's the artist. And I also felt like these were not just drawings, that they were like sepia photographs or stuff like that. Look at how beautiful the heart is. Like, it's not really black and white, but it's kind of, yeah, sepia. I loved it. I love how it is done. Really. It's beautiful. And as I said, when you see the words, those are the words taken straight from the Confession of Nat Turner, you know, the real book. So yeah, 4 stars, because not enough words, as I said before, but very interesting. I read this play by Sonny Laboutancy. I bought it because I wanted to read La Parenthèse de Sang. But you have 2 plays in this edition. You have La Parenthèse de Sang, and once you're done with La Parenthèse de Sang, you have Je suis signé cardiaque. So the thing is, I read this one in one sitting, which is easy to do. It's a play, as I said, but it was breathtaking and very, I found it violent, really, like, boom. But this guy had balls, and I always feel like Congolese writers, and I'm from both sides, but anyways, Congolese writers most of the time lack balls, but he had too much of them, and I loved it's sometimes brutal, maybe a bit too bloody, but realistic. And the thing is, after reading, the guy died in, he died in 1995, I think. And so this was written long ago. But as I was reading it, I felt like he was just telling the stories that are still taking place in my country of birth. You see what I mean? So, yeah, things are not evolving. I loved it. I really, really loved it. But I also have to warn you, because this one has been translated into English. I'm certain. I saw it myself. If you want to read Sonny Laboutancy, you have to be prepared for, you know, reality. He doesn't beat around the bush. It's just, I would say that he reminds me in a certain way, not reminds me, but if there's anybody I could compare his writing to, it will be Edwige Dentica. I love this kind of people who do not use too many words, but they say many things with the few that they use. They have this economy of words, but the power in the storytelling. So this is what he does. It touches you like, I don't know how to say that in English, plus I read this one in French, so I would like to review I would like to review this book, this play in French one of these days, even if it's by the end of the year, I don't care, but one of these days I'll take the time out to sit down and just talk about this one. And I definitely will keep on reading whatsoever comes from him. I didn't know him to be that good. Yeah. One of the first book I read in May was this one, Vert Cru by Toufat Moutar. We had an encounter also with the author. I will put the link down, definitely. You will have many links down below. But I will put the link down below to one of the videos because there are 2 of them. This was my very first time reading anything from the Comores, and I hope that I will see many other books from that island in the future, because this one was very interesting. Quite demanding, but really interesting, really fulfilling. So if you read in French, or French is your mother tongue or whatever, highly recommend this. Give it a try, read it, and let's discuss it. Last one I read and finished was this one. Yeah. Mufara's Beautiful Daughter, An African Tale. I loved it. I really did. I loved it. The graphics are interesting. The story in itself is, yeah, interesting as well. So you can read this to your children if you have any, or your grandchildren. Yeah, I love the design. I love seeing beautiful black children supporting their natural hair and with story that, you know, resemble them and sound so good, where they don't feel like, you know, they have to change or they have to look a certain way to be accepted. I loved it. So yeah, will highly recommend, but I know that many of you already know about this one. So voila, this is the back of it. Yeah, the artwork is just beautiful, as we say in my country. Ezakitoko. It is beautiful. Ezakitoko. And I'm currently reading, and today is the last day of the month, so I don't know if I don't think that I'll be done reading this one. I'm currently reading Heavy, and this is how far I've gotten in this memoir by Casey Lehman. And I know I will finish it tonight. I'm also reading These Plays by Leroy Johnson, Leroy Jones, Amiri Baraka. So yeah, this I'm pretty sure I'm finishing it tonight because it's a play and voila. But this one I will certainly finish it next month in June. Yeah. I've been drinking a lot of sweet drinks to swallow the words in here. Yeah, this title, yeah, is suitable for this memoir. That's all I can say. The title suits the memoir, but I'm loving it. I'm weird, so I'm loving it. Or maybe I'm not weird, it's just because I love reality. I love when people are being truthful and they're speaking the truth without disguising it, without trying to be too good or to look like or sound like anybody else. So I'm loving it. Voila, that's all I had to say. I hope to see you very soon with a brand new video. Voila. So see you in my next video, guys. Bye bye.